beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. Oxebar kegs are becoming more and more popular, and I felt that it was time to provide a complete cleaning guide, not only that will do the job, but will also preserve the life of your Oxebar keg too. I have also included a troubleshooting guide within this video to ensure the smooth running for users. The tips in this guide apply to all sizes of Oxebar keg, so let's get started. So here is one of my 4-litre Oxebar kegs that was taken to a friend's house the night before to enjoy one of my recent homebrews. For the ease of cleaning, it really is best to get the job done as soon as possible. The very first thing to do is to remove the tapping head, but keep it close because we will need to clean this too, of course. I then add a clean funnel made of stainless steel to the top of the keg, which makes adding water to the small opening very easy. I then add a little warm water, which is no more than 45 degrees Celsius or 113 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature here is very important because if you go any higher, then you will potentially degrade the plastic of your Oxebar keg. I then give this a little shake and then pour it out along with what is left of the last beer. It is then time to add the funnel along with some cleaning product. This can be the same stuff that you use to clean your brewing system in the form of a powdered brewery wash. You don't need to add much here, as you can see. Warm water is then added to fill the keg to the top at the same maximum temperature already mentioned, which is standard for the rest of this process too. You should then remove the funnel and add your tapping head back in place. You may now leave the keg with the cleaning solution for up to 15 minutes in total before it must be removed. This is due to the fact that these chemicals will start to eat into the plastic and compromise it if left any longer. During this time, usually after the 10-minute point, we'll then add some CO2 pressure and give the tap and line a clean through with this cleaning solution. Most beer taps benefit from a breakdown clean from time to time also, but this kind of clean is fine in the interim. You should then remove the cleaning solution by emptying the keg and then refill it with just warm water. This step is not time limited, but I would suggest running the containing water through the tap and line while the water is still at least warm to rinse the remains of the cleaning solution through. Your Oxebar keg setup is now clean and ready for sealed storage until its next use. Let's now move on to the troubleshooting side of this video guide. There are essentially two areas in which problems can arise with Oxebar kegs, and the first is solved with the correct water temperature when cleaning, which I have already advised on. So that is the first area solved already, which can lead to a compromise to the keg's plastic and thus its structure. The other area is around CO2 leaks with the Hydra tapping head, which thankfully is also very easy to solve, as you will see. When you first purchase your tapping head, you will need to assemble various parts, only some of which are shown here, but each of these has the potential for leaks. When you assemble these parts, ensure that they are all hand tightened, but it is vital to ensure that you do not over tighten and then cause damage. Easy amounts of pressure to secure each one of the core pieces here is adequate. I have heard of some users that have decided to use a monkey wrench on these parts, thinking this will ensure a good solid fit, but in actual fact this will cause damage to the threads, as will hand tightening with great force. Both can lead to an actual leak rather than being a preventative measure. The next area is the pressure release valve. This should also be hand tightened, and damage can also occur if this is over tightened. However, unfortunately it is known that there was a bad batch of these at one point in time, so if you are experiencing leaks, then swapping out the pressure release valve with one that you know is functional can either be a way to resolve the leak, or to simply be a way to eliminate the PRV as the cause. These are actually the same pressure release valves used for a number of Kegland's other products, so for example if you have a Firmzilla, then you could borrow the one you have from there for testing with your tapping head, for example. Like with any equipment that is pressurized, it is always a very good idea to pressure test before use, as like with a fermentation vessel, an Oxebar keg's leak is always far less fuss and stress to solve when there is no beer inside it. The safest and most cost-effective way to test is to fill the keg to the brim with water and then use a regulated supply of CO2 to pressurize it to a known level of pressure and then remove the CO2 supply. Keep the Oxebar keg at ambient temperature for a night or a day, or more, before hand testing the feel of the keg. If you have a serious leak, then you will know straight away, as the keg will compress very easily. If you are unsure, then reattach the regulator of CO2 and you will hear what you have lost, if anything. Before finishing up, there are two health and safety concerns here that I wish to outline. Firstly, never perform this test without a regulated CO2 supply, as otherwise you could easily overpressurize and cause damage to the keg and potentially yourself. Secondly, never fill the keg with just CO2. Always fill it to the brim with water first and then apply your pressure for testing. The reason for this is that water is incompressible, so if the keg fails, the rupture will be safe. However, if there is significant compressed air in the keg and it fails, the compressed air energy will cause much more fragmented and thus dangerous ruptures. Plastic splinters moving at force that hit you in the eye are certainly going to cause damage, you can be sure of it. I do hope that you found this video useful, informative and interesting. If so, why not consider liking and subscribing? For further support you can join the channel's Facebook group, and if you would like to support the channel then check out the channel's merchandise store, as all profits go back into the channel. Until next time, happy brewing!